Hare Krishna, dear devotees, my sincere pranams on this special day of the 150th appearance anniversary of His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. I'd like to offer to him and to yourselves on this day something called the Bhakta's Bill of Rights. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission has expanded miraculously over the last 150 years, thanks to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, their sincere followers, and it's now truly an international movement. And yet that expansion hasn't come without a cost. And that cost has been the trust, the faith amongst the Gaura Bhaktas in each other. As things expand, as the fire grows, so also the smoke that covers it can thicken. And we're reminded of a pastime in which Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was supposed to come and open a temple. And the devotees were very excited to have him there. And it was moments, just hours before the opening, when he asked about the whereabouts of one particular devotee. And that devotee hadn't been seen in a little while because he had been chased away for other reasons. He had seemed to have fallen down, and so the devotees there at the temple discouraged him and he left, and no one had seen anything of him. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta then said, "You won't have this temple opening, and I will not install the deity. I will not invite the Lord here until and unless that devotee is returned, until he is recovered." And a beautiful Leela ensues, and a happy ending comes of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's desire to see that everybody who has ever come remains in Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. There's a huge untapped potential in the Gaura Bhakta community. As much as we're eager to bring in new people, there's so many old people, folks who already accept Krishna, who already accept Mahaprabhu, who already accept their devotees as their life and soul. And yet we see a lack of trust and investment that results in a lack of a vigorous movement, lack of what we know Srila Bhaktisiddhanta and his sincere followers would like to have seen. In my own experience with a small community in the USA known as the Harmony Collective, ISKCON Ypsilanti in Michigan, I began thinking it's a preaching center, and we're going to be reaching out and we're going to be connecting with new people. But very quickly, Krishna showed me that there were lots of people already connected, already interested, already invested in Krishna consciousness, who didn't feel like they had a place yet, a safe place of trust and integrity to be able to serve. And so we began to take those folks in and understand what they were going through and try to support them and fail in our own ways, but also come to understand something of the fundamental atmosphere that's needed for everybody to trust the promise of a spiritual society in the age of Kali Yuga, whether there's somebody who's never heard about Mahaprabhu and the Maha Mantra before, or there's somebody who's been around for a few decades. We all have a certain level of trust that's needed to really invest in the sangas that we find ourselves in. And that's the intention of this Bhakta's Bill of Rights, is to create meaningful conversation for those concerned with the conditions of our communities at present, helping people to have progressive talks about what to change. Lots of different discussions of reform over lots of different issues have come up over the last few years, and they seem disparate. Somebody might be concerned about child protection, and somebody else is concerned about financial transparency, and someone else is concerned about mission and vision, and they all may seem like separate concerns. In truth, though, they all revolve, and their lack of attendance is due to a certain misalignment with fundamental principles of transparency, accountability, and trust, especially in this age of Kali. And so this Bhakta's Bill of Rights is not really meant to be something ratified from on high. It's not meant to be something that is given the bureaucratic rundown. It's actually intended to be like a talisman for those concerned, whether you're formally a part of a mission or an organization or the leadership, or whether you're just an individual, a common congregant who has some sense of investment in the mission of your Guru Janas. This Bhakta's Bill of Rights is intended to be like a talisman to help each invested person have a meaningful conversation about the fundamental things to change, so that we can start to see those beautiful nuanced expressions of the Sankirtan mission that we all have faith in. There's a tremendous power in healing. There's a tremendous power in revisiting the past with renewed eyes and responsible faith, and the present and future will look profoundly bright. It will satisfy and go beyond the expectations that those first descriptions of the books that we ever read gave us the hope for, if we are willing to meet this work on the ground right now together. So that is my prayer, that is my hope, and I request Srila Bhaktisiddhanta to bless us all in this important effort, and I hope that this Bhakta's Bill of Rights proves to be a useful talisman, a useful cornerstone for your community conversations in your local sangha. It's local that matters in the Sankirtan mission. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur started the Nam Hat, this barely organized expression of Krishna consciousness, just enough to let it bleed out, bleed out, bleed out to more and more places. It's local that matters. If you can have these conversations at the local level, then at the highest and higher levels, we can expect to see adjustment and change eventually. But immediately, we can see what we want on the ground if we learn what matters most and how to bear that out in our relationships and dealings with each other. Thank you. Hare Krishna.